What's up, everybody? Today I'm going to be talking about one of my favorite vintage lenses, the Jupiter 9. It's a vintage lens. It's basically an 85 f2 all manual. So for some situations, for people that don't want manual or autofocus, they want autofocus glass, this is definitely not it. But for people that don't mind shooting manual for photography or video, which is what I'm going to be talking about today, this is an amazing lens. I shoot it on the Blackmagic Pocket 6K. That's kind of my workhorse right now. I'm shooting on the 4K right now just because I'm holding the 6K. But on this body, it ends up being like a 135 or something like that. It's really boosted in, but it just it takes amazing video. And let's go shoot some right now. Yeah, I just walked over there and came back. I actually shot that a really long time ago. But it was completely shot on this lens, which is why I wanted to share that with you. Okay, I did want to do a couple of comparison shots. I know this isn't like the super scientific review that you see some people do where they take pictures of charts and you get to look at lines and brick walls and things like that. It's an 85 millimeter, so it's going to be really, really low on distortion. That's just par for the course. That's really common. But I will compare this to the only other 85 that I have, which is this beast right here, the Sigma 85 1.4. Obviously, there's a difference here in size. It's not about size, but there's a difference here. And I mean, some of it has to do with the autofocus motors of this lens, but the front element of this is really huge. I have an ND filter on there, that doesn't help. So just really enormous glass, and this one's incredibly sharp. One of the sharpest lenses that I've ever shot before. So this is great, but definitely not vintage. And let's go ahead and take a few shots, or let's make a few comparisons here on with these two lenses. So I realize this is not the most exciting footage here with this tree, but hopefully I can show you the differences, at least with the highlights, at least highlight the differences in the Jupiter 9's sexy vintageness and the more modern look of the Sigma art. Just because it doesn't have that modern coating, that liquid crystal business on there that really brings out detail, like in this shot right here with the Sigma art, which is the second shot. It really cuts out that flare, which is great if that's what you want. But if you're looking for that flare, then you're definitely going to get it with the vintage lens. Here's the same shot with a little more grading. If I pause this here, you could totally see that there is these huge circular flares going on at the top and bottom of the frame, and they stay there for a really long time, which is a pretty cool effect. I like it. But if it's not something you're looking for, stay away. I'm sorry this is not like super exciting. I just walked outside and did these shots. These are clearly not the most exciting shots, at least not compared to the styled shoot that I was doing with my friend there. All right, here is my son just being super bored. This is the Sigma 85, and boom, right over to the vintage lens. Another thing that I really like about vintage lenses, that drop in contrast also kind of adds a volumetric look to the light. So it just adds this 3D look to it and kind of makes you feel a little bit more immersed in the scene as opposed to just the observer that I feel like the Sigma or more modern lenses give you. I'm just gonna let this play to the part where my son just gets bent out of shape because my wife told him he has to go get ready by brushing his teeth. So that's pretty much it for this lens. It's an 85mm f2 and it's an awesome lens. It's sharp, it's f2, so it's gonna help you out in low light situations, but also it's like 150 bucks on eBay. So 150 bucks versus almost $1,000 or $1,000 for the Sigma Art lens. You can make your budgetary purchases where you can, or save a little bit of money, try something new. This vintage lens is definitely, like I said, my favorite. One thing that I would mention though is I would pick up a step-up ring for these, and you know, it's like 49 to 77 millimeter step-up ring. I usually do most of mine to 77. That ND filter is really gonna help out your footage as well. All right, guys, that's all I got for this week. See you next time. Gonna need that coffee.